so it has been 7 years, and we have gone through everything, like growing super crazy, like close to bankruptcy, like doing really well. So when you go through everything, you really think like, okay, I'm the CEO of this company, like no one else, maybe my partner could do the same, but no one else is gonna put the heart and the soul and everything here, to save it and to have the team happy and so on.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Day One Diaries, the podcast where we speak to founders about those nervy, awkward first steps as you build your own business. In this episode, I'm delighted to be joined by Edu Gaya. Edu is the founder and CEO of Barner, a fashion brand that makes everything from backpacks to glasses. I love talking to Edu because he's such a straight shooter, but still always quite positive. There's a lot to take in this conversation, so 3 things I would look out for. Firstly, the reason that Edu left Google in the first place. It wasn't because he had a burning need to start a business or he had some big idea. Edu was about to become a dad for the first time and he wanted to move home, close to family and friends, and then he started to think about the business he would create. Secondly, the real world problem he's trying to solve with his first product. Edu has eye strain, and so he had an expensive pair of blue light filter glasses. And when he lost them on a trip, he realized there was a gap in the market for fashionable, affordable blue light blocking glasses. And that was it. No big plan, no big investment, just a real world problem, curiosity, and a willingness to explore it. And finally, the title of this episode, Becoming the CEO. Edu wasn't comfortable with the title CEO at first, but now 6 years in, he's seen the booms and the busts, he's got the scars, he's got all the experience and confidence to own that title. It was such a great conversation, and I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. And as ever, folks, if you want more of this content, hit subscribe because we'll have a new episode of Day One Diaries every 2 weeks. Enjoy the show. It's been a long time since you and I worked together back in Google, back in the good old Performance X days. And you've gone on to do lots of fun things. So before we get into any of it, tell us a little bit about Barner.
Yeah, it's true. It's a long time that we don't see each other and that we were working together. So Barner is a company that I founded after leaving Google. So I left Google around 8 years ago, and actually I leave it not because I was going to start my own entrepreneur business, but because I was going to become a dad and I wanted to go back to Barcelona and Spain and be with family and so on. um, so yeah, Banner on the beginning, it changed a lot in these 7, 8 years. But at the beginning, we wanted to do an uh, blue light blocking glasses brand. So in that time on the market, there was like maybe a couple of brands, and they were really focused on gamers and developers. And we thought it's true that gamers and developers they spend a lot of time in front of the screens, but actually today like everyone, no, people working in
Mm.
marketing, designers, people doing finance. So why not to do a blue light blue light blocking glasses brand that is more fashion and is more mainstream and can go for everyone.
Wow.
This was the beginning, but
Yeah.
actually now Banner we could say now we are selling everything. So we could say that we are a affordable fashion eyewear brand.
All right. Cool. And where is the company at right now? Is it uh, still selling in Spain or where are you selling?
So we changed a lot since the beginning. At the beginning, we wanted to become a pure player, so only selling online. And actually, we were selling to the whole world. So anyone that was submitting a purchase, we were shipping the products, and then seeing what was going on with the customs, right? So now we are still open to the whole world. Besides some countries that they have really tough customs, like um, Brazil, Myanmar, India, all these countries, and so on. There are many. They are really protecting their internal product, so it's very expensive. So people that they are buying a pair of glasses, they are gonna pay maybe 120% the value of the glasses in custom. So for them, it didn't make sense to get the glasses. So we are selling in more than 150 countries online right now. And then we have distributors in more than 30 countries.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. That's really impressive. I'll come back to that pivot, that change to use distributors, but let's go back to those early days. So we were working in Google, and as you mentioned, you had personal desires to leave and go back to Spain. What was the story? What was going on then?
So before Google, so yeah, we were working together in Dublin. And before Google, I lived in China for 2 years and a half. And then I moved to Singapore for 2 years and a half. So I worked 5 years in Asia and then 2 years and a half in Dublin. I love the experience. It was super amazing. But the thing is like, with my couple, we have been for many, many, many years together. And at that time, she was living in London. I was living in Dublin. And after 8 years being abroad, for this personal reason that I mentioned before, we decided, okay, it's time to go back to our roots, be with our siblings, we are really attached to our family. And we wanted our kids to grow here. So I remember having in Google, we have the PDP, the personal development plan. No? And I remember having my PDP with my manager. And normally on the PDP, yeah, you foresee where do you see yourself in 1 year and where do you see yourself in 5 years. So I remember telling my manager at that time that I see myself in Barcelona in 1 year because I was going to become a dad. My manager was super happy for me. This is one of the amazing things of working in a company like Google, the culture. I love the culture. 6 months in advance leaving the company, I knew that I was going to go to Barcelona, for sure. And at that time, I was okay. What I'm gonna do? So um, I was looking for few companies. Nothing really moved me much. And the reality is that Banner is not my first entrepreneurial experience. I did something. My mom had a physical shop in Barcelona, and a physical shop. You have a pin there, and she was selling to the neighborhood, right? So we were supporting with my brother and my sister. And one day I told my mom, hey, this is just a store that we are selling in the neighborhood. Why not to open an e-commerce? And I created an e-commerce that was called Naturmarket, .es. I was 23 on that time. And suddenly in 1 year, that naturmarket.es became 98% of the revenue of my mom's business. So
Wow.
actually, the store became a warehouse to be selling natural products. So it was like supplements to the whole Spain and Portugal. So I really enjoy it. I love it. Actually, when I was in China on the weekends, I was working on the website, learning about SEO, learning about performance marketing. So during all that time, all those 8 years, I was having this feeling of becoming an entrepreneur, even though there was only one person in the team and I was doing that on my free time. I really enjoy it. So after that, I decided, okay, I think it's time to start with something. So then, yeah, I was looking for ideas, and I was having a personal issue with my eyes. I was suffering of, now I know that it's eye strain. No, I was
Yeah.
having a lot of itchy eyes, sometimes headaches, and I bought a pair of glasses in an optical store that I paid 300 euros with the blue light blocking thing, and I love it. So I was wearing them. Actually, I always have it here. It's like my mouse. Now because we are in the cold, I don't put it because of the reflection. But I love it. So I did my glasses. When I was in Google, I went to New York to work for a week. I left my glasses in the plane, and during the whole week, I was feeling the itchiness. And in New York, I got the idea like, hey, why not to do a brand like a Hawker Smeller, but just focus on blue light glasses.
Yeah.
And this is how we started.
So interesting because at that time, I mean, at that time, first of all, very few people were leaving Google. Like it just wasn't the
Yeah.
the thing to be doing at that time. Now it's things have changed quite a bit. But so first of all, it was surprising to hear of anyone leaving, and then after you left, and I'll be honest with you, the first I heard of your new business was you sent me out of nowhere. You just sent me like a box of 30 pairs of glasses a few months after you started, and I was like,
Okay.
where have these come from? And then I realized it was you and the company, and it was a marketing thing that we could put them, give them out to other people. And I just found it so fascinating because anyone who did leave Google, leave tech, tended to get into the software world, tended to get into services, coaching, things like that. But you went into the physical product world. And I think the story now that you explain as to how that came about, both your experience in and ideas about D2C, and then actually seeing a product and being inspired to think, I think there's something in this, makes an awful lot more sense.
Mm,
So when you get into that world, when you started saying, I think I'd like to start a blue light blocking glasses company,
mm.
how did, like, day one diaries, who did you call? How do you get distribution? How do you
Yeah.
get them made? How did this all come about to make it a reality?
So yeah, so day one, I called my best friend. Hey man, I have an idea. What do you think if we started? I think this is a big mistake. I think you need to take your time, look for the right partner. So actually, with my best friend, with one of my best friends, we started. And when I was in Google, because I knew that this is gonna finish one day, I was receiving the first samples. So banner was being cut when I was in Google. I have pictures with being in Google, trying the glasses with friends and so on. So then my friend one day, I left Google, so I was full life, as I mentioned, and he was working and he was doing an MBA and he became a dad. So he was asking me to be working on the weekends, and I told him, of course we can do it, but for example, we were going for a birthday, and then he told me, "Hey man, we can go to the birthday and then we leave at 6 and then we will to work at home and so on." So I was saying that this didn't make sense, like you need to be really balanced with your partner on or balance in capital or put the things really clear. So one day he told me, "Hey man, I have the feeling that I cannot do it. I'm super busy with my work. I'm a dad. I'm doing an MBA in
Mhm.
ES, so it's a huge thing." So I say, "Man, of course," and he dropped. So at that time, this was my day one actually. I, I
Yeah.
was I was like, okay, what I know for sure is that I don't want to do this alone. This is 100% for sure. So I'm gonna take my time to think who would be the right people. And then I had a friend that he was actually I met him when I was in Singapore. He was living in Japan, and he was in Colombia starting his own business, and he was in Barcelona that day. So I called him, and he's super smart, and I was more focused on marketing, and he's an engineer, more focused on operations. So I think it's really important to have someone that you are really balanced, because if all the founding team is doing marketing, you are missing some expertise. So we went for lunch, and I told him, "Hey man, I have this idea of do a blue light glasses company." But the thing is, like, uh, on that time I used to hear a lot of podcasts about entrepreneurs, and one mistake that I heard is that you have an idea and you get in love with your idea. And what you are gonna do is you're gonna ask your surroundings, "Hey, what do you think? Blue light glasses." And more or less everyone is the same, in your surroundings.
Yeah.
So you are not getting a reality of the market. And some people is gonna be, "Oh, maybe I don't see it," and some people, "Oh yeah, man, you can do it," but you don't have a product market fit. So on that time, a friend showed me Kickstarter. So what for us was clear is that if we didn't find the product market fit, we won't continue.
Mm.
So with Ramon, that is still my business partner, we say, okay, let's put 5,000 euros each. Not only money is important, but let's put 1 year of time. So we
Mhm.
decided these two metrics: 1 year and 5,000 euros. And if there is no product market fit, okay, it's
Right.
for us. It was like kind of paying a cheap MBA, because
Yeah.
1 year, like full life, you learn a lot. And if this works, so you have a business and you can live out of this. And if this doesn't work, worst case scenario is that you get a huge learning. So for us, it was like win-win, 5,000 euros MBA. You go to Esade or ES and you're gonna pay 80K, and they are gonna tell you that how you need to import products from China, but you don't learn. You learn when you have the products in China in customs, and they tell you no, this cannot enter. I'm gonna ship it back to China. Then you need to solve everything, and you can ship it back. So
Yeah.
this is the way to learn.
That's the real way of learning. There's
Yeah,
just nothing like doing something to learn. It's
exactly,
incredible.
exactly.
And being willing for that to be a mistake and do it wrong and all that too. Like you say though, the yin and yang of yourself and Ramon of being into marketing versus being into processes and engineering. Did that come to fruition? Do you both still sort of hold those roles in the company and with each other?
Yeah, yeah, totally. So,
Yeah.
so one of the things. So now we are moving from day one to year four. But one of the things is that you need, we think at least, that you need a CEO. You need a someone that has the role to respond in front of some people. Let's
Mm,
call them investors, key partners. There is people, and when you have distributors, you need to adapt to different cultures. I'm going next week to Dubai to see our distributor, but I was in Mexico and the culture is totally different. And some cultures they want to speak with the CEO because for them
mm,
it's important. So my role is I'm the CEO. Um, that on the beginning I had on day one and year two I had a lot of imposter syndrome. For me it
yeah.
was, yeah, yeah, like to put the signature CEO, I was feeling like, it's too big. But now after 7 years, it's totally fine, and you need to put it, and I feel it. It's my company. I have been here for many years, and
Yeah. But can
uh,
I ask though, why
the,
where do you think that imposter syndrome came from at that time?
hmm, that's a good question. Like moving from corporate that you are, and my role, I was we could call it internal consultant, right? So I was an individual contributor and I was supporting account managers. So I was not a manager. So going from that role to, okay, I'm going to start a company, and then it's not about the putting on the signature, but putting their CEO. For me, like CEO, it was like, hey, C-level. So this is
Yeah.
a big thing. So I was feeling that I didn't deserve it yet.
Yeah.
Um, because, in Google, uh, for me, it was an amazing experience and I love it and I learned a lot. But at the end, if you are a manager, you are gonna learn a lot of things about management. But I didn't have the experience. But for me, I was really good on a tool that is called Google AdWords. You
Mm,
learn a lot about soft skills and all this. But actually, my expertise was being really good in marketing and in Google AdWords. That outside the Google world, when you are inside, it looks like it is everything.
yeah.
But outside that, you are an expert of a tool that a
Yeah.
company did, and you are an expert of marketing, but there are many tools in the market and there are many ways to do marketing and so on. But so yeah, so I had the feeling, okay, I'm really good on this, but from this to boom, becoming the CEO of a company, building a team and building a culture and building a brand and trying to have a global impact, wow, it's too much. So in the beginning,
Yeah.
I was feeling I'm a co-founder. That's 100% true. But I think the CEO role I need to gain it. And
Got
actually,
it.
for me, uh, now I see the CEO role. So normally, like company structures are like this, management. But for me, the pyramid is the other way around. When you are the management, you are down. You are there to support everyone. The pyramid is like this, and you are here, and you
Mm.
are supporting everyone. It's not like top down. I think it's the other way around, and this is kind of our culture in Banner as well.
So going back to it, you guys did the Kickstarter, you decided on an amount of money and an amount of time. The Kickstarter, did it go well? What did you learn there?
One of the learnings when we started we did our first Kickstarter, and we were manufacturing in Italy. So we were thinking, okay, where is the place to manufacture glasses? So Italy, is like in terms of branding is the place, and so on. So we went to Italy. Actually, we were at home. We were calling factories, And it was funny because we were saying, "Hey guys, we want to do some glasses," and they were asking, "Okay, but you want acetate glasses? You want?" And we didn't know anything, so we didn't know what was acetate. Like no, no, we don't know. We just want glasses. Hey, so if you don't have it clear, you have to come to Italy. So we went to Italy. We visit some factories. Our optical mentors, they were telling us, "Hey guys, the quality is not in Italy. The brand equity is in Italy, but the quality is in China." So China is the biggest factory in the world. Um, they are doing millions and millions and millions of frames every month. And the technology that they can afford, no one in Italy and no one in Europe and potentially no one in Africa can afford that.
Wow.
So, and actually that's a reality. If you see our factory in Italy, their capacity was 5,000 glasses per month. And we did after that, and when we grew, we did a production of 100,000 units. So it's impossible that they can supply this. So many brands, what they do is they manufacture in China. Now Vietnam is growing because of all these customs things with USA. Many of the Chinese companies, they are afraid and they are opening a factory in Vietnam and other
Yeah.
countries. So many brands, what they do is they manufacture everything in China. Maybe the temples, they come aside and they assemble the temples in Italy, and they can put handmade in Italy because of that. But actually, everything is manufactured in
Is
China.
made in China.
Yeah, and
Even that,
and the yep.
even that's a really interesting insight when you think about the physical, tangible product world. Again, the myth being, or the sort of trope being that, oh, it's done in China, low quality, they just churn them out, blah, blah, blah. But to your point, if that's where these things are being made at this scale, they're obviously investing in their technology and in their processes and the quality of their raw materials. And so then it becomes that self-fulfilling prophecy of being turning into the center of excellence for producing products like this, and you could go on into any other consumer product as well.
Yeah.
So then from mid 19, you were hiring people, you were starting to see sales come through. Were things on the up at that stage?
So 2019, we were for people, we were doing ads, and we were selling only online, only blue light glasses. By the end of 2019, we were 6 people. And then 14th of March of 2020, or
Yeah.
12th of March,
I
yeah.
don't think anything interesting was happening in the world at that time, if I
Yeah,
recall
yeah, yeah,
correctly.
yeah, yeah. So actually, 2020 was a crazy year. So we
Yeah.
went on that time. We were doing like 120,000 euros on revenue per month. So we went from doing that to do. We did that on March, and on April we did close to 700,000 euros in 1 month.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah, just
6x in a month.
yeah, 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 6x
Wow.
because we were like pumping more money. Actually, revenue, I think is I'm talking about revenue, but I think
Yeah.
it's a vanity metric. Yeah. So
Yeah.
um, people talk about revenue, but what is important is the bottom line. But this is
Mm.
another conversation. You can do 25 million in revenue, and if you are losing 3 million every year, you are fucked.
Yeah.
And you can do 1 million in revenue, and if you are every year you are getting 300,000, and you are good. So
Yeah.
I think revenue is a vanity metric at the same as the amount of people that you have on the team. That this I learned it also with experience. So yeah, so on COVID times we start to grow. Boom, we were 6 people, and we end up the year being 26 people, and everything hiring remotely and so on. So this was crazy times.
Wow.
But then 26th of April of 2021, that for many people is not important, but for us it was. It happened the iOS 14.5 release, and happened the other way around. So if we were doing on that time 600,000 per month, suddenly, boom, we did 250,000, and then without being able to control it, like we didn't change anything. The only thing
Just
is that we
woke up
cannot
one
reach
day and that was that.
we
Yeah.
cannot reach the customers, and it's really difficult. So like these companies, they charge by CPM, the cost per thousand impressions. So if I'm showing the ad 1,000 times, they are going to charge me 4 euros. But if I'm showing the ad 1,000 times to my target audience, I'm going to get sales. But if I'm showing the ads to not my target audience or to everyone, who knows? But I'm getting charged, you know.
Wow.
So it was
And
very tough. Yeah,
just to clarify, because I know not a lot of people wouldn't be in that space. So what happened here was Apple essentially just said they're not going to do cookies anymore. So you can't target people with the same amount of information about the person, about the user. And so therefore you weren't able to say, find me people who are interested in glasses, find me people who are interested in fashion, find me people who are on their computer all day. Whatever way that Apple or anyone else might have categorized their audiences, you just didn't have that information
yeah, that is
anymore.
exactly, yeah. So the things like for us, the good thing is that in January of that year, we were starting to work on our distribution business model. And we were preparing our first trade show for September 2021. So we were not only doing online, but we were starting to work on the distribution thing.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, because actually our online business it was like not profitable anymore. So we started our new learning curve. You know, we didn't know anything about
yeah.
distribution, and you need to start learning about this. Um, and then we did the trade show. We started to get some clients, and we were compensating the losses of online. Um, and now we are alive. We have 30 partners. We are doing good, and so on. But it was really tough. Um,
Did you
I
have to
don't.
reduce the workforce at that
Yeah.
time?
So another learning is that on that time, this was 2021, late 2021. Um, until that time, we never raised any funding. And actually we were bootstrapped, and we were happy and we were doing good. But then suddenly, there is a paradigm shift, and you
Mm,
cannot do anything, and then instead of getting profit every month, you are getting losses. And on that time, the fundraising was really on trend, and it was kind of easy to fundraise. So we said, okay, we have an issue here. Let's solve it with more money. I think it's a huge mistake. If you have an issue here, you need to tackle the issue. If you have, we were 25 people, maybe we're having too much workforce for the new revenue level, so you need to tackle the issue. And then if you need money, you go for the money. But we were having the issue and we start to fundraise money.
mm,
And now I learned that it didn't make sense. So we started doing the fundraising. Uh, we were talking with some people, and there was a huge group from the UK that they are the owners of um, Super Dry and O'Neill and these brands that they proposed us to do a kind of a merge.
mm.
So we say, okay, it makes sense because we are going to be part of a huge group. We can bring a lot of value to the group, and and so on. But then there was the war of Russia and Ukraine,
Oh,
and
wow.
this company is on the stock market. And the stock markets, they were moving. So this company, when we started to talk, we did the due diligence and everything was moving forward. It was going to happen. This is why we were keeping the workforce. Um, so they presented the results of Q2, they crashed. So they went
Yeah.
to from 400, they went 40% down. So they stopped any kind of merge, acquisitions. So we were left on July in the middle of August with no cash, with a lot of people. We had runway for maybe 2 months, um, and we needed to do something. So it was really tough times, and this is
Yeah.
when resilience comes again. We need to do something now. We need to solve this. That we are having too much workforce for the revenue levels that we are having now, and it was the toughest day that we had to restructure the team, and 10 people so
Yeah.
left the team.
Can I take you back to that moment of like you say when you got to restructure the team and you got to let 10 people go? For a company that essentially boomed so well for 3 4 years and then had to step into that moment. When you were having those conversations, how do they go? How do they land? How do those people receive
Actually, it went really well, but I think like everyone that was leaving, they understood that we did the best that we could, uh, and it was it- like they understood, and actually the relationship is really good with all of them. If this was not happening, it was like 100% of the team was going down.
Yeah.
Like, because in startups you have this word that is runway that we don't have it anymore. That is the amount of cash that you have to survive. So which is very 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 tough. Um, it was, you know, it was very, after that day we were very tired because we were not talking only with the 10 people, we were talking with the whole team one by one, you know explaining. So we did a meeting, we explained what is the situation, we were very direct. Today is going to happen this because these investors didn't join finally, so um and yeah, and one by one, and we did it from the best that we could, at least.
Yeah.
But the
And
relationship
you guys did it
afterwards,
yourselves?
yes,
Yeah.
that you have to do it. Some people they hire a company to do that.
Yeah.
I think that's not human, man. So first thing is that we had a relationship and we are humans, and you need to explain why this is happening, and dedicate some time. And we were there like as much time as every people needed.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Honestly, I think it holds to the culture that you had and I assume have at the business. Uh, you say those conversations went as well as they can. They went as well because of the culture you had built, the effort you had put in with those people in advance. They knew what you guys were doing. They knew how much you guys were trying and things were going well, not well, whatever. And that you were able to front up and have that conversation. People respond to that. People
Yeah,
understand there are mechanics at play, but if they don't feel respected and they don't feel like they're being spoken to like adults, that's where you lose them. So I would say that's why those conversations went as well. But
yeah,
moving on to
totally.
happier times, how are things in the business now?
So things are good. Um, so we are really happy because we, in many 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 different ways, actually we changed offices like 3 weeks ago. We are super happy about the new banner home. um so we are happy the brand is going on the direction that we want to go. If you go to the website, you will see a very nice video. We are showcasing Barcelona. One of the things that we are selling the brand in 30 countries with distributors, and our partners, they always tell us, guys, you need to show more that Banner is a brand from Barcelona, actually a
Mhm.
Barner. So Barcelona, the local people, we call it Barna. I go to Barna, or I live in Barna. And for us, a Barner is someone that likes to live the lifestyle that we live in Barcelona, or actually in Spain,
Mhm.
anywhere in the world, being with family, friends, good weather, good food, being in the nature, do sports. So a Barner could be a Barner in Dubai, a Barner in Nigeria, in Los
Mm.
Angeles, in Sydney. So it's about lifestyle. So I think in terms of brand, we are getting there. Now we are, so what started as a blue light glasses company, now we could say a fashion company. So we do two campaigns, big campaigns per year. We have spring, summer, and autumn, winter, and we release our collections, we present them, and so on. Um, Another good thing of this year is that we opened our first banner store, just
Wow.
selling banner glasses with our partner. We wanted to do it ourselves, but our partner in Croatia, um, they are a big player that they are really good on retail. They already have like 60 something stores on their own, and they wanted to try it out, and we say why not? Makes sense,
Mm.
and we are really happy about the results. um, so yeah, I think like
How many
uh,
people are there in the business now?
so we are 18 now.
18. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Still very lean.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
Sounds like you did
part of
learn.
the learning. Yeah.
Edu, you, for a lot of reasons, left the comfort of a 9 to 5 job and you could have gone into another one and found a nice, comfortable, lived a life in Barcelona getting paid. But you decided to go down the route of starting a new business. You happy you made that decision?
Super happy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I mentioned before, like, I told my friend like not to do it, but
Yeah.
actually. I think it's an amazing ride. I love it. I feel like an entrepreneur. So if if it's not Barner one day, it's gonna be another thing. Um, I like I like the adrenaline, man. I
Yeah,
like when things are working, I like it, and when things are not working, I like it because you have creativity. And so yeah,
yeah,
super happy. I love it for many reasons, and maybe one day. But if I could, I would never go back. Maybe it's not nice to say, but I would never go back to the corporate world. I always
yeah.
like to try new things, learn, in order to,
And move.
hey,
Yeah. Ah, well, listen, Edu, it's been fantastic to talk to you here today. It's been such an interesting story and journey. And I got to say, I think whether you thought it or not, you were the CEO of that company from day one, and you really deserve that title. But now, through all the things you've gone through, the ups, the downs, the tough days, the good days, and the expansion that's in front of you, you are definitely the CEO. Congrats, man!
thank you,
I'm really,
Ryan.
really rooting for you and the Barna company.
Yeah, thank you, man. It has been a great pleasure talking to you, and hope to see you soon, man.
Cheers, man. Touching.
Yeah.